There's only a few, if ever there has been a group that has changed the world. It has always been a few, never many. Right. So today will be the last leg of what we are trying to do in terms of understanding ourselves. And I hope all the inputs that I've been giving you are helping you in your personal life and in your professional life. It is helping you become a better version of yourself, and you're starting to understand yourself better, right? And so as I start the session today, I thought, let me play a video, and no better person than the great man himself talk about the culmination part, the icing on the cake on emotional intelligence. So I'm going to attempt play a video. While Google Meets always has a challenge in terms of playing videos, let me see if I can get that video up. So let us see if we can get it. Give me a minute. Are you able to see the video?
Yes.
Is there that irritating humming noise?
No.
No. No.
So let me play this for you, and do let me know if the voice is clear and audible.
Emotional intelligence refers to
Are you able to hear it?
Yes, very well.
Okay.
Perfect.
Okay, super.
how well we handle our
And I want you to make notes. Everyone who is on the call, my humble request is please make notes, because we are going to build a session basis this video. So would request and appreciate if you can make notes out of this.
selves and our relationships. There are four domains: self-awareness, knowing what we're feeling, why we're feeling it, which is a basis of, for example, good intuition, good decision making. Also, it's a moral compass. The second part is self-management, which means handling your distressing emotions in an effective way so that they don't cripple you, they don't get in the way of what you're doing, and yet attuning them to them when you need to so that you learn what you must. Every emotion has a function. Also, marshaling positive emotions, getting ourselves, involved, enthused about what we're doing, aligning our actions with our passions. The third is empathy, knowing what someone else is feeling. And the fourth is putting that all together in skilled relationship. So that's what I mean by emotional intelligence. There are many definitions out there. The part of the brain, it turns out, that supports emotional and social intelligence is actually the last circuitry of the brain to become anatomically mature. And because of neuroplasticity, the brain shapes itself according to repeated experiences. So my argument is, hey, we should be teaching kids regularly over time in a systematic way self-awareness, self-management, empathy, and social skill. And in fact, uh, there are now enough programs, and they've been around enough in schools, that they're about to publish a huge meta-analysis looking at hundreds of schools and kids that had the program versus those that don't. And guess what? All antisocial behavior, disruption in class, violence in school, goes down 10%. Pro-social behavior, liking school, well-behaved, up 10%. Academic achievement scores up 11%. So it really pays. Executive function, which is mediated by the prefrontal lobe, both helps you manage your emotions and it helps you pay attention. So as kids learn these skills, they also learn basic learning skills. I think that the fact that that was an argument was one thing that caught people's attention. Then there was a little chapter on called Managing with Heart, which argued that leaders who were sons of a bitch were actually defeating the company's own mission. And I think that made a lot of people happy because they work for people like that. I don't know. Some people gave it to other people because they thought they needed help in this domain. I'm sure there's a zillion reasons why people like the book. I know IQ has been going up for 100 years as children encounter a more sophisticated cognitive environment as they grow. I don't know that we're becoming more emotionally intelligent. I like to hope we would, but I think that the number of intergroup wars going on, the intergroup hatred going on, the levels of familial abuse, in other words, indicators of emotions out of control in dangerous ways, don't look that great, which is why I'm a very strong proponent of getting these social emotional learning programs in every school worldwide. You have to remember that emotional intelligence is a range of abilities: self awareness, emotional self management, empathy, social skills. Women tend to be better than men on average at empathy, particularly emotional empathy, sensing in the moment how the other person is feeling. And also it's at social skills, at keeping things feeling good between people and at a group. Men, on the other hand, tend to be better on average at self-confidence, particularly in groups, and at managing distressing emotions. But what's very interesting is if you look at leaders who are in the top 10%, there's no difference between the men and the women on any of those variables. In other words, you have a whole human being. So I would say that on average, there probably are differences, men and women, in this domain of ability. But as people develop their skills, as people become more effective, they pick up strengths in areas that they need. I think that emotional intelligence is a universal, but it looks different in different places. Japan has a very rigid set of rules of social interaction, lots of subtleties. Americans typically blunder into the Japanese system, don't get what's going on, and it's embarrassing. But they wouldn't recognize necessarily emotional intelligence in Japanese setting. Brazil is a very different culture. It's very outgoing, kind of like an Italian culture, and so it would look different there. But I think the fundamentals are the same.
Okay.
I think AB left. Shall I call him?
Sorry, I got thrown out of the call. Maybe Google Meets is not liking me that much. Sorry for that. And then it was not allowing me to get back again. But anyways, here I am. So sorry for that technical glitch. So tell me, what did you learn from that small 3, 4, 5 minute video? Am I audible?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Because there was stunned silence, so I thought that what happened?
Answering you is not that easy. Many times I also get worried कि मेरा आंसर सही होगा कि नहीं.
ના તમારે આવું ના વિચારવાનું હોય સાહેબ. Okay, so
But yeah.
Good morning, AB. Actually, the video was not yet complete.
acha, okay.
A part of it was still left. Yeah.
So sorry, so sorry. So I'll play it again. But whatever part you saw,
Please.
what was the learning out of it?
Yeah, it's something like range of abilities are increased if you have high emotional intelligence.
That's right.
It is not much gender specific. Yeah, certainly women are better at managing distressful situations. They can manage. They have more of social skills, and we stopped when the cultural specific things were to be discussed.
That's right. So something happened on the call, so I got pushed
Yeah.
out. But anyways, I'll play that again. So thank you, Ilaben. You are always, as always, in great form. So you are just superb. Very good.
We reflect each other, Abby. We reflect each
Thank you.
other. Yeah.
Thank you. You made my day. You made my day. Thank you so much. Okay, so let me pull up a presentation for
Maybe
you.
I can say something. I noted 4 things that in the beginning he talked about. The self-management, managing positive emotions, empathy, and skill of relationships. These are the 4 important things he said to begin.
That's right. That's right. That is right. That is absolutely right. So Ilaben and Patel sir have kind of nailed it. So let me share a presentation with you. Where is my presentation? Are you able to see the slide?
Yes, we are getting the slides.
Okay, so the slide reads the EQ model, right? And what is EQ? The emotional quotient. You can call it emotional intelligence. You can call it social intelligence. You can call it social quotient. You can call it whatever you want to call it. And as you heard, Daniel Goleman is the author of the book Emotional Intelligence. And I would strongly recommend everyone on the call to buy this book. And you should have it as a hard copy in your library. It is a fantastic book. It's a very heavy book. And so when you start reading it, in all probability, you will fall asleep, but that's okay. It's a great book. So I thought, let us hear from the person himself rather than hearing from anyone else. And you can see on the slide, he spoke about these 4 points: self-awareness, self-management, social awareness, or the word he alternately uses is empathy, and relationship management. As both Ilaben and
the screen is not coming all right. Maybe
the
you may
screen
have
has not come. Okay, so
We
I
are
will.
seeing the participants.
You're seeing the participants. I am not
Yeah.
seeing the participants. Isn't it awesome? It is awesome. This technology, I just love it. I love this more than anything else I love in this world.
And
Okay.
Anand, what was the name of that book?
Emotional intelligence.
Emotional. Okay.
Now, are you able to see the screen now?
Yes, now we can.
Yeah. This is funny. I did the same thing, Laili. The other time it did not work. Now I did it. It works.
Acha muhurat tha abhi.
Correct. It is like my wife. I just don't understand what she does and what she does not do. You will not understand. That is okay. Yeah. So
do you see whatever he speaks is getting typed over here?
I don't know. Is it getting typed?
No, sir. You must have switched on your captions. On the top of your screen, there is a symbol which says CC. If you turn it off, you'll not see what is being typed. I mean, the captions.
Okay, wow. So Google is smart, right? So it is typing what I say. Wow, not bad. But they'll not understand our English.
But sometimes it translates really funny things.
Yeah,
Whatever
it
you're
is.
saying.
Correct. Correct. It's better to keep it off because you don't know what it will translate into.
Correct, correct.
Okay, anyways. So both what Ela madam and Patel sir said is absolutely right. And you heard the person, the man himself speak about these 4 points: self-awareness, self-management. Self-awareness and self-management is also called personal competence. So it is within us, right? So I am responsible for it as a person. You are responsible for it as a person, as an individual. And if you look at the other part, it is the social competence. So I would want every one of you to have a paper and pen with you. Or if you have not logged in from a phone, you can use the notes on your phone as well. But you all should have something to write on. So I'll wait for a few seconds for all of you to confirm that you have got something to write on. So you can unmute yourself and tell me, yes, you have something to write on. Or let me toggle to the chat screen. Where is the chat screen? Here is the chat screen. Yes, ready is okay. Very good. Thank you. Let me go back to my slide. Okay, so do you have the slide on your screens?
Yes.
Okay, so let's begin understanding this. So the next about 40 odd minutes, we are going to talk about things pertaining to you and you alone. So I'm going to give you a series of questions, and those questions are a reflection of you. So when I give out those questions, I would expect you to what we call respond with impulse. What do we mean by responding with impulse? You capture the first response that crosses your mind. You don't give it too much of thought. So it is not what I would do in an ideal state. What I do is what we have to capture. Yeah. So if you are ready, I am ready. So if you look at the self-awareness and the social awareness, it is all about what I see. And if you look at the self-management and the relationship management, it has to do with what I do or the actions bit. So let's understand this personal competence and social competence and the 4 circles that make up the emotional quotient or the emotional intelligence in more detail and personal to you. So if you look at self-awareness, it has to do with my emotional self-awareness and my accurate self-awareness, right? So we'll pick up the other 3 as we go along. So this is the question that I want you to answer. So when we talk about self-awareness, we are talking about our ability to accurately perceive our emotions. It could be positive or it could be negative, and stay aware of them as they happen. This includes keeping on top how would I tend to respond to specific situations and certain people. So you have to rate your answers on a scale of 0 to 4. 0 means not at all, and 4 means always. So let's do this on a piece of paper. So on the paper that you have, or if you're writing it on your mobile phone, you can put a heading self-awareness. And what would be your answer to the point that we are trying to learn? To what extent am I? So I am using a very inclusive language, because as I said, this is all about us as people, individual. It has got nothing to do with your friends, your family, your parents, no one else. It is you, the person. So to what extent am I aware of my emotions? Give yourself an answer. The answer could be in the range of 0 to 4. And as I said, it should be an impulse response, not a thought through response. To what extent am I aware of the impact my behavior has on others? To what extent am I aware of how others influence my emotions? आपको किसी ने आके कुछ कह दिया और आप पॉपकॉर्न की तरह रिएक्ट करने लगे. आपको किसी ने कुछ मना कर दिया तो आप रिएक्ट करते हो. एंड आपका मूड खराब है तो आर यू अवेयर दैट your behavior is disturbing someone else's emotions? Once you are done answering to all these 4 questions, write in the chat box that say done. So you will have a score that you will have to score. The score will be a total of the 3 questions that you have answered. So your score will be in a range from 0 to 12. Anyone has a score of 12? Is there anyone on this call who has a score of 12? So I don't think so there can be anyone having a score of 0 or anyone who will have a score of 12. If I were to rate this for myself, my total of those 3 questions will be somewhere around 7 or 8, because there is so much to realize of our emotions. Sometimes we are not aware of our emotions. We let emotions drive us, and then it drives us crazy and drives the people that we work and live with, drive them crazy. And sometimes because you are in that emotionally charged state of mind, you don't realize, I don't realize that my behavior is impacting someone else. And at times I allow someone else's behavior to impact my emotions, especially when I drive. And you know how enjoyable is it to drive in a city called Ahmedabad or Surat? Baroda is still better. Yeah, so my score will be maybe 7. So there is a whole lot improvement that needs to happen. And I will also tell you how would I go about improving myself. How can you improve yourself? So we will look at that separately. So that was the extent to which I am aware of my emotions. Let's look at the second one. And I'll be going a bit slowly in this because I want all of you to take this seriously and answer the questions. The second is self-management.
Sorry, Abhi, there's a question which says that what should you go towards? What is the best possible score?
There is no best
What
possible score.
Aim for.
Again, you cannot aim for 12. So this is not a target that you chase. This is how aware are we, and then how we control our emotions. So it's about having the intelligence to know ourselves. So if I were to ask any one of you to take over and speak about yourself for maybe 3 minutes, is there anyone who can take up the challenge to speak about himself or herself for 3 minutes? and I will not allow you to speak your name, your gender, your academic background, your professional details, your geographical details, nothing about your family. And you have to speak about yourself for 3 minutes. Anyone up for that challenge? But if I were to tell you that let us gossip about someone else, we can speak for 30 minutes. Yeah, so all of us, the human beings, are wired very differently than any other creation of the creator. So we can talk about someone else, gossip about someone else till cows come back home. But the point is, do I need?
I
Yes,
have
sir.
a question. Higher the score, let's say, if it reflects on self-awareness, then is it not better? Because the next step in terms of managing emotions.
Oh yeah, that is obviously better. The
Okay.
higher the score, the better it is. But then
Okay.
it is like getting into what Maslow's hierarchy of needs says, into self-actualization.
Okay. Okay.
Right? So it is like when you have food on the table, when you have money in your bank, when you have clothes in your closet, when you have a nice air conditioner to make you feel nice and cozy, you have got a nice bed to sleep on, you have got nice clothes to put on, then answering all these questions is like walking in the park. But when the times are tough, when you are struggling to put food on the table for your family, when you're struggling at work, when you're struggling in relationships, when everything that you plan is falling flat on your face, what do? And life will hit us hard no matter what you do. So you will have your moments of mountain days, and we will have our moments of valley days, days of sunshine, and we will also have days of shade. So the challenge is, if I can stay in control of my emotions, especially when the going is tough, then you can say that I have kind of arrived on this particular piece of self-awareness. Right, so it is very contextual, it is very situational, it is something which all of us have to constantly keep reminding ourselves. So yes, the I would not say the target, but yes, the attempt should be on a higher side. But then you will have to understand your emotional state as we are speaking and listening to each other right now is very different than when you are encountered with some challenge. Yeah, so it is good if you're on the higher side, but then I would hope and pray that you are on the higher side no matter what. Yeah, so I would not want to say what an ideal score is. The ideal thing is that I should know my emotions. I should be in control of my emotions. It should not be that the emotions start driving me, right? And I think so. I shared this statement last Saturday, or one of the Saturdays, that we should act basis our values and our principles, not react basis our emotions and circumstances. Yeah, so there is a quick answer to your question is that there's no ideal stuff, but it's a journey that we travel. Okay, good. So let's move to the next point, which is on self management. And it's important that we read what's written on the top of the table as well. So let me read it for you, and we will go slowly. And let's use the inclusive language using I, because this is for us. So my ability to use awareness of my emotions to stay flexible. This is very, very important, and in my opinion, very difficult. And positively direct my behavior. Most of us struggle in this. Most of us, if not all of us, struggle in these two elements: staying flexible and staying positive, and then positively directing my behavior. We let the emotions of the situation get to us, and then we are not ourselves. We tend to react. right? And let us understand to what extent am I, the condition remains the same. There are three conditions, and you will have to rate yourself on a scale of 0 to 4. And one more time, it has to be an impulse response, not a well thought through response. So, to what extent am I able to control my emotions when under pressure or stress? And as you're writing it or capturing your answer, also think of some situations in your life that was stressful. How did you react? Did you act or did you react? Someone told you something. You are driving and someone came and banged your car. What did you do? Someone abused you. What did you do? Someone accused you wrongly. What did you do? Someone had then completely 180-degree difference of perspectives from your thoughts. What did you do? Were you able to control, or did the other thing happen that the emotions started controlling you and then you lost it, and then you wonder मैंने ऐसा क्यों किया, मुझे ऐसा नहीं बोलना चाहिए था. आपने किसी को थप्पड़ मार दिया, आपके मुंह से गाली निकल गई, आपने किसी के बारे में बिना सोचे, बिना जाने, बिना समझे आपने किसी के ऊपर इल्जाम लगा दिया. Yeah, so to what extent am I in control of my emotions when under stress? Look at the second question. To what extent am I able to manage uncertainty and stress? So, to what extent are we able to do that? Are you able to manage periods of uncertainty? Or is it causing you worry and anxiety? To what extent are you able to manage stress well? Are you someone who gets into an anxious state of mind very easily? Let's look at the third one. To what extent am I able to turn negative thoughts into positive behaviors, into positive actions? And what we are trying to learn, my friends, is pretty deep. So let me go back to the chat window, and do let me know if you are done, if you have answered those three questions. So Prakriti says done. I would give myself a total of maybe 5 on this scale, maybe 4.5, but definitely not anything above 5. I would struggle big time on all these three. So in total, I would be at about 5. So I'm not even 50% of what I ideally should be. As I said, there's nothing called ideal, but I am working on this. And as life happens to you, and most of you are young boys and girls, please remember, if you are able to self-manage yourself, you will be able to hold on to relationships more often than not. Today, you know, relationships are not holding up. Why do we have so many breakups? And you know how many breakups you have had in your life. Why are divorces happening? Why are we fighting with each other? Anyone who comes and has shares an opinion which is very, very different, maybe 180 degrees different from your thought process, why do you start hating him or her, as if you are wanting to get into a fight with him or her, wanting to prove that yes, you are right and he or she is wrong? These are challenges that real life will throw at you as you finish your career as a student and transit into a career as a professional. याद रखिए, नौकरी करना बहुत डिफिकल्ट होता है, बिजनेस करना बहुत डिफिकल्ट होता है, पैसा कमाना बहुत डिफिकल्ट है, रिलेशनशिप्स मेंटेन करना बहुत डिफिकल्ट है. आप घर में देखते होंगे ना, पूरा टाइम लोग झगड़ते रहते हैं. आप रोड पे देखते होंगे, पूरा टाइम लोग हॉर्न मार मार करते हैं, चिल्लाएंगे, चीखेंगे. So very important that we understand this is personal competency, my self awareness and my self management. So let's go to the third part. Before I go to the third part, let me check if there are any questions that any one of you may have. Any questions? I am there on the chat screen now. Okay, you have one. Okay, Amit. You should respond impulsively to the answers to these questions. I'm not saying you should respond impulsive in the real life situation. So when I said respond impulsively, I am talking about responding to these questions. So that's a term we use when we have psychometric questions. Because when you start thinking about it, that what will I do? Do I do this or do I not do this? How do I react? Do I allow someone's emotions control me? So if you're giving it a nice thought, there is a tendency for us to give an incorrect response. So if the response that you record to such questions is incorrect, then what happens? The analysis will be flawed because the response are skewed, and hence I am, yeah. So that is my answer to you. You respond impulsively so that you are talking about, or rather capturing the answers that me and you do, not a thought through question. So this is not about intelligence, this is not about your IQ, this is about your EQ. So anything to do with IQ, you would definitely want to think and then answer. This is when you read that statement, when you read that condition, when you read that situation, what is the first thought that crosses your mind? That is what we capture. Did I make sense? But good. Thank you, Amit, for asking that question. Okay, any other question before we move on? Okay, no questions. So let us move on to the third part. So the first two that we saw, which is self-awareness and self-management, are a part of the personal competency. And my total on personal competency would be about maybe anywhere between 9 and 10. So again, I'm not even 50% of that score. So I need to invest in building my personal competency, because that is the crux of building relationships. And minus relationships, you cannot do anything. Let's look at the first of the social competence, which is our social awareness. Where is it gone? Yeah, social awareness. So we ended at self-management and social awareness. It is also called empathy. You heard Daniel Goleman refer to this particular part of EQ as empathy. In the book, he also talks about social awareness. So let's understand this, and we'll go slowly into this. So my ability to accurately pick up on emotions in other people and get what is really going on. This often means that we understand what other people are thinking and feeling. Yeah, so on that, to what extent am I able to understand what others are feeling? To what extent am I able to understand what's going on in the mind of the other person, in the heart of the other person? So capture your response in the 0 to 4 range. Let's move on to the next part. To what extent am I able to pick up on the cues? Cues means not hints. This is the word cue, not clue. So if you have played the game of billiards or snooker, you would know that there is a stick, and we give direction to the ball with that stick. So at the end of that stick, there is a small thing which is called a cue. So cue is something that gives direction, right? So am I able to pick up on cues from others through aspects such as their body language, such as their tone or voice, their gestures, their postures? If yes, give yourself a score anywhere between 0 to 4. Next question. To what extent am I able to be aware of my own emotions while picking up on others' emotions at the same time? That's a great question. In fact, that's a super question. And be honest to yourself when you are answering these questions, because no one is going to ask you what your score is. And again, think of this statement. When you personally are in a stable state of mind, as I said, when you have food on the table, when you have clothes in the closet, when you have money in the bank, when everything is as per plan, relationships are all nice and comfortable, and there is harmony in every aspect of your life, then understanding others' emotions and feelings becomes slightly easier. But if there is a turmoil inside of you, if there is a cyclone inside of us, then am I able to understand my emotions while I pick up emotions of someone else's? at that same time? Would I have the patience, the mental stamina to look at someone else's body language? Or am I too consumed by my situations and my thoughts? So I'll give you a few more seconds for you to capture your responses. So if I were to rate myself on all three, the total that I would have would be maybe 4 or 5. Let's look at the last one, which is relationship management. So to what extent am I able to have difficult interactions with others well, using our ability of awareness of others' emotions and our emotions? There is a difficult discussion that you have to do. You don't agree with someone. Do we agree to disagree, or do we become arrogant? And from my life, I have learned, whether personal relations or professional, as long as the both of us are on the same page as far as understanding is concerned, oh, life is like a bed of roses. Everything is smooth as silk. But the minute you have a different view, the minute you correct someone, the minute you tell someone that it is better if you do it like this, not the way you are doing, you challenge someone, and then the volcano erupts. And I wondered all these days or weeks or months, while we thought we were in a harmonious relationship, we were never in a harmonious relationship. It was just that we passed through a state where both of us agreed on most of the points. And if you have been in a relationship long enough, if not you, I hope you will be in a relationship long enough, you will realize that periods of time when you are on the same page happens seldomly, if at all it happens. And then what happens is, in that relationship, you remain silent, you do not say anything. Hence, we get into a state that we start tolerating that relationship rather than celebrating that relationship. And I would rate myself maybe -2 in terms of my ability to manage difficult interactions, especially when there is so much happening in your head. There is so much chaos that is happening all around you. Let's look at the second condition. To what extent am I able to demonstrate, and look at the word sensitivity? It's a beautiful word, to another person's feeling, to manage interactions effectively. I believe this, out of the 12 questions, this is probably the best and maybe the most difficult, at least from my point of view. And I'm sure many of you on the call would have someone that you have blocked on WhatsApp, or you have blocked his or her phone. So why did we block someone? So did you demonstrate sensitivity to the other person's feelings? Just that he or she was thinking differently than you or me, and then we are so arrogant that we block that person. And the last question is, are you able to manage conflicts well? and you enter a situation of conflict with the mindset of I win, you win, not with the mindset of I win, you lose, or I lose, you win, or I lose, you lose. So look at these four different questions, and the highest score that you can get is 48, and the lowest that you can get is 0. So I'm sure that there is no one on the call who is on 0, and I don't think so any one of you would be 48. My score would be around 16 to 20 depending upon the situation. So what I just did is showed you your EQ scorecard. Now obviously there will be 4 broad categories of your score. So you will have a score for self-awareness, you will have a score for self-management, you will have a score for social awareness, and you will have a score for your relationship management. And one of the score will be better, higher than the other 3. So that's is what is your perceived strength. And there will be others where you and I will have to reach out to someone saying that, would you please coach me on this? Will you please help me on this? And link this to what we learned last time. We learned the Johari window last time, the 4 quadrants of the Johari window that we learned last time.
Maybe I had a point.
Yes, sir.
See, I think you definitely said that, and this is very important, that it also depends on the stage of life. Today, if I am putting the score here, my score may turn out to be that I am more self-aware, I can manage, because the mindset, one is the experience and maturity that you get, and some different circumstances through which you have passed, and therefore, if the score is better, it doesn't mean if I had put myself before 20 or 30 years, my score would have been also awesome. So the youth who is coming today should really aim for something. If it is today low, let us recognize that and work on it.
That's
Am I
right. Absolutely. Absolutely. You're 100% right. Absolutely. So that is what we are trying to aim. So before this call, they would not even have awareness of these 12 different questions that we just saw.
Right.
Right. And now, since they have a fair idea about these 4 or these 12 questions and where they stand on that particular situation, they can now consciously make efforts to behave properly, to maybe behave properly is an incorrect word, but to respond in a more matured manner rather than responding and reacting. So responding basis values and principles and not reacting basis emotions and circumstances. So today they may be impulsive in their response to what life throws at them. Right? So like I have said this a few times, never make permanent decisions on temporary emotions. Never promise when you are happy and never take a decision when you're angry.
Wonderful, wonderful. I think if we can do this, we will be able to maintain good relationships and whatnot. Yeah,
absolutely. But look at what's happening in the society today, sir. There are breakups that are happening more frequently than anything else. There are fights that are happening in homes than ever before. Children hardly see harmony in the family. So that is what is their perception of family is as they're growing up. So when they grow up to become adult, mature people, when they get married, that is what they understand as far as relationships is concerned, it is all to do with shouting, putting the other person down, insulting the other person, throwing your ego around. That's what is happening 90% of the time in 90% of the families. And the other 10% are only staying quiet. And if you were to go and check in any counseling center, so I am a part of a counseling center in Ahmedabad, Maninagar, right? And out of 100 counseling requests that come, 99 requests are to do with relationships. 99 of them are to do with relationships. Right? So if they can understand these few points at the age that they are in, so I believe they will have a far better harmonious relationships. Today, because there is lack of harmonious relationships, people are trying to find that balance in money. And hence people are getting into the trap of pleasures, drugs, and all those nonsense things. But if there is good, meaningful relationship, you will be healthy for a very, very long time, both physically, psychologically, mentally, emotionally. So that's a great point that you brought up, sir. Absolutely. So we have to strive to, one, know where I am today, and two, how do I move on the right side of that curve? How do I become better on these 12 different conditions? And I think so that calls for understanding that there are some gaps in my behavior, acknowledging that I need to improve, not becoming that egocentric person, and yeah, so submissiveness in relationship, having a mindset that, you know what, I may be wrong. The other person may have a better opinion. The other person's thought may be better than what I'm thinking about the situation. While we may acknowledge that the other person has a better thought, but we don't accept it because that ego comes in between.
Maybe there is a question if you want to take it right now.
Yes. So where is the question?
Chat.
Okay. So Mahip, if I got the name correctly, in case I pronounced it incorrectly, please forgive me. So my name is not Sir, my name is Anand. So you have to pay me 100 rupees for that. Pay me on Geo Money. That is just a joke. I have one question. Sometimes it might be possible that you do not want to spoil the bond of relationship because you don't want to lose that relationship. Okay. But on the other side, you are unable to adjust with your self-respect. Yeah. So that's the struggle, my dear friend. That's what we just said. That is exactly what I said. Now, if I'm able to express myself fully knowing that it is not going to harm the relationship, then I am in a matured relationship. But if I am not able to express myself, fearing that I would lose the relationship, the first thing that we'll have to do is invest in that relationship, make it more mature. And that's a very practical challenge that you put up. That is what is happening today. So hence we say, okay, you do what you want to do. I'm not saying anything. So you're not engaging into good conflicts. Conflict is good. I'll repeat what I just said. Conflict is good. Conflict is not quarrels. Fighting is not what is conflict. There are 5 ways, maybe we can do a session on conflict management. There are 5 ways I can manage conflicts. I can avoid it. I can accommodate it. I can be collaborative. I can compromise. And there is one more way. I forgot the 5th one. So there are 5 different ways of managing conflict. So what are we doing? Are we accommodating or are we avoiding? Are we competing or are we collaborating? Or are we compromising? Compromising again is not the English word. Compromising is the word that I'm using is a psychometric word. So it's not my way, it's not your way, but what is the best possible way? That is a compromise. So whenever we do these sessions and whenever there is a questionnaire that we are administrating, so these are psychometric tools and we should not confuse them with the language that is used. So it's not linguistic. So when I manage conflict, building upon what Mahib just put up on the chat, am I avoiding it? Just ask yourself. So let me write it down. Let me see if I can have speed in writing. I'm not very good in writing and speaking, but let me try. So do I avoid the situation? Do I accommodate in that situation? Do I compete in that situation? Do I collaborate in that situation? Or do I compromise in that situation? What is the best possible way? It depends. There is no one best style to manage conflicts. There is no one best style to manage situations. But the thing that I would want to ask you is always be in a mindset which is I win, you win. Not I win, it should be I win, you win. Right, so I hope I'm answering your question, Mahit. So that's tough. That is tough. But then you would want to respond basis your own values and principles and never react basis emotions and circumstances. Yeah. So I'm not sure whether I've asked you or not. Uh, can anyone tell me your definition of love? What is love? You can unmute yourself and speak, or you can write on the chat box. Unconditional support, okay.
You feel non-duality. You
Okay.
feel one, like.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's a great answer, Ilaben. Thank you.
Yeah.
Accepting as he or she is.
Okay. So when you tell someone that I love you, what do you mean by that statement?
Will stand in any stand by in any circumstances.
Okay. So that's a good one. That's a good one, Patel sir. That's a good answer. That we care about them, sacrifice, investing. That's a good answer. That's a very good word. Okay, so here is my statement. Let me write this down. And then let me write it as I speak it. Love is the feeling. Most of you, what you wrote is a word that can be bundled up into the feeling bracket. So love the feeling is the fruit of love the verb. Now, can any one of you explain what I just wrote?
Often.
Love the feeling is the fruit of love the verb. હર્ષભાઈ આજે કશું બોલ્યા નથી. કેમ તમે મારાથી નારાજ થઈ ગયા છો?
ના સર એવું નથી.
એવું થવા બી ના દઈએ અમે તમને. તો ચલ બેટા આ સમજાવો, આ વાક્યનું એ તો થવા બી ના દઈએ ને ભાઈ. બેટા ચલ આ સમજાવો, આનો મતલબ શું?
સર નથી ખ્યાલ આવતો મને.
નથી ખ્યાલ આવતો, કઈ વાંધો નહીં. આપણા હર્ષભાઈને કોણ સમજાવશે? प्रकृति समझाओ चलो.
I was just about to speak. I think this statement says that love is action, and those actions result in that feeling of love.
That's right. Super. Very nice. Very nice. So first and foremost, love is a verb. But we forget that. So that's why I said investing is a great word that Mahip wrote. So that's a verb. So you are in it. It is an action that you are doing. Sacrifice is an action that you are doing. So when in any relationship, it could be with your parents, it could be with your friends, it could be with everyone, we have to love one another because God has told us to love one another, and love is as pure as God's love because God is love. Many of you in your generation confuse love from lust. So I'm not talking about that lust part, I'm talking about love which is as pure as God's love. So it has to be an action. And that is what we are trying to learn through this exercise. It is the action that is going to bear the fruit. Today, in any relationship, at least I feel the words are only empty. They are shallow words. There is no depth there. One wind of difference of opinions, and the whole house comes crumbling down. And that is what we have to do for each other, stand by each other, and that is what will build our social competence and our personal competence. So let me complete this particular piece. What is forgiveness? We have 2 more minutes before we close, or maybe 3 minutes before we close. What is forgiveness? Ability to see the behavior beyond the immediate impact. Okay. I love what Manisha wrote, giving peace to your own self. That's an awesome response. That's amazing. Very, very well articulated. Super. Showing your values. Okay. So forgiveness, all that you're saying is amazing. Let me make it even more simpler. Forgiveness is a verb. It is a verb. Last question for the day. What is forgetting? What do you mean by the word forget?
Hello. You lower down your ego and you accept someone other's point of view.
Very good. Thank you. Thank you, Elabeth. Thank you. Amazing. So forgiveness is a verb. Forgetting is a verb. But we don't forget. આપણે યાદ રાખીએ કે પ્રકૃતિ ખબર છે તને 6 મહિના 4 દિવસ અને 6 કલાક પહેલા તું મને આવું બોલી હતી, હવે હું તને ઇન્ટરેસ્ટ સહિત પાછું આપું છું. યાદ રાખીએ છીએ આપણે. That is not being emotional intelligent. અને પછી આગલું ને પાછલું બધું સમેટીને તમે સામેવાળાને લિટરલી મર્ડર કરો છો, ઇમોશનલી મર્ડર કરી દો છો એને. This is not right. This is just not right. So, please remember this. Love, the feeling, is the fruit of love, the verb. Similarly, Forgiveness is a verb. Forgetting is a verb. No one on this call, no one on this call is perfect. We all have our vulnerabilities. We are all prone to making errors. So if I am not perfect, how do I expect a perfect behavior from the person with whom I am in a relationship? So let us try to be the right person rather than finding the right person. I'll repeat as I close, let us try to be the right person in the relationship rather than trying to go and find out who is the right person for me. And many of you young boys and girls, whenever you are getting into a relationship that is a serious relationship, you should not get into any relationship which is not serious. Never get into casual relationships because it is going to hurt you beyond words. So whenever you get into relationships, don't fall for looks because looks are deceptive. Don't fall for material possessions that person may have. What is the car he drives or she drives? What is the bank balance? How big is their home? Those are things which are not at all important. That is not the root of any relationship. The root of any relationship is character. And all that I have shared with you since 9 o'clock is to do with that one word, the character for understanding who I am, my character for managing my emotions, regulating my emotions, that's a better word, my empathy. Do I feel someone's pain? And how good am I in building relationships? And the world needs to come back to where it was in building relationships, in staying together, in remaining connected. The world is chasing money, and now it is finding out that you can't eat money. You may have the best car in the world parked in a garage, but you can't drive it anywhere. What will I do with that car? And what will I do if I cannot spend one full day at home with my loved ones or with my friends and there is no harmony? So that's not life. That is, you're just passing through, you are just going through. It is tolerating and not celebrating. Yeah, so that is what I wanted to share. I hope this was a useful session. It was slightly heavy. Sorry for that, but I hope you benefited from it. So, any questions?
I have one question.
Yes, Amit.
Yes, thanks for the session. It's really